Pro Gmod Tutorials 2014, a really interesting deleted ARG. Now obviously, as the name and about section implies, most of his videos are meant to be tutorials. Unfortunately, this is an ARG, so we only got 2 tutorials in the entire 8 videos Pro Gmod Tutorials has ever uploaded. So, you know. Anyway, let's get right into it. The first video is just a regular tutorial, and I couldn't really notice anything unusual. However, in the second video where he teaches you how to make a drivable vehicle, and honestly it's a really bad method because you can actually just use the wheel tool instead of the whole axis and thruster thing he's doing, but that's not important right now. Because at the end of this video, before his game crashes, if you look carefully in the brick walls, it's either something coming out of the wall or it's just a weird video artifact since the video is in 480p for some reason. I mean, seriously though, why 480p? This is supposed to take place in 2014, isn't it? 1080p definitely existed back then. Although, I guess 480p is easier to hide things in, so. The third video is just a blatant, hey, I'm an ARG video, because it's basically Pro Gmod just walking into the water while a bunch of weird, colorful entities look at him from the distance. Then I guess he just drowns? Now, I don't want to get too into theories, but it's possible that somebody or something in the lore of Pro Gmod Tutorials 2014 drowned. So, you know what? There's not enough videos, nor is there enough evidence, and it doesn't really matter since Pro Gmod Tutorials 2014 is discontinued anyway. Now, be aware, after the third video, a lot of the videos are leaning heavily into the ARG bits, and it can be seen with the fourth video where we get this huge brick thing sticking out of the wall. And because of this, it doesn't really leave much to the imagination of the viewer, so it kind of loses points for that. But other than that, it's a really interesting ARG, because after we ignore the brick thing sticking out of the wall, we cut to Pro Gmod frantically looking around as if something was watching him. And something weird is that whenever he switches to the camera seems to still be moving, but when he cuts back to himself, the car that he built or found isn't moving. He even freezes it mid-air, and when he cuts to the camera, the car is still moving for some reason. Then he dies a bunch of times, and when he realizes it, he tries to frantically go back into the dark room, but he just dies repeatedly. Now, this is until, Brick Gregory here says to hear him.
Turn away from me, incline thy ear and hear me when I shall cry to thee in my affliction.
So he runs up to the giant brick version of Father Gregory, and then right before he gets there, he slams right into the concrete pavement. Ouch. Now obviously we have this glaring giant brick version of Father Gregory for some reason, and honestly, Pro Gmod Tutorials is it's just there, and he seems kind of indifferent to the giant brick Gregory there. Now, despite the giant brickified Father Gregory, he cares more about the vehicle and, in the freaking dark room. So, yeah. Anyway, for some reason, I don't know why he is exploring the dark rooms, but if Pro Gmod Tutorials is aware of the giant fucking brick Gregory, then he is obviously searching for something more unusual. Maybe like a dark, shadowy figure. Okay, just kidding. Gmod 8002 already did that, so maybe Pro Gmod is probably just searching for those colorful entities from the third video, so that's a possibility. Anyway, let's move on to the fifth video. Now, surprisingly, this is the most viewed one with a whopping 2.7k views. Amazing, right? Anyway, he builds another vehicle or couch car, and he drives it around to the end of this tunnel, and at the end there are these 2 lights, and I'm guessing it just looks like eyes from far away, or that's what it's supposed to look like. And once he realizes that there's nothing but these white glowing eyes at the end of this tunnel, he goes back and finds out that the door is now closed, which was, or at least I'm guessing, was open in this shot here. But now it's closed, and when he opens it, there's this spooky, scary skeletons, and when he tries to close the door, it just doesn't. And this obviously freaks him out, so he tries to escape using his couch car. And when he gets to the end, he dies and is just casually hanging from the ceiling, which is totally not creepy at all. So what can we get from this video? First of all, how did he even get here? And why is he exploring places all of a sudden? Mind you, this is all after the third video. Like maybe he saw the colorful creatures in the third video and decided to hunt them down or at least try to find them. The weird thing is he actively uses no-clip in these videos, and yet he decides to build an elaborate vehicle to explore these places for some reason. It's possible that it's just some gimmick that the creator of Pro Gmod Tutorials 2014 did, so they could show off their cool Gmod car building skills, which isn't even that good because, for the love of God, just use the wheel tool. The sixth video is from the perspective of a spy for some reason. Let's just assume that this is Pro Gmod Tutorials for now, and he explores GM Big City until he looks here in this corridor, which, something hides away. Then he shoots at the door for a bit until, hides to get the entity's attention. And this happens. Obviously, Pro Gmod Tutorials got extremely scared and started to run away and shooting at the entity, so let's pile up what we know for now. Remember, these are just theories, so, take it with a grain of salt. First is that Pro Gmod saw the colorful enemies in the third video and is now actively embracing and searching for them, which leads to this video where he finally encounters this screwed up brain model. I mean, just look at what they did to his head, for God's sake. Anyway, looks like Pro Gmod got what he was looking for. And after this fucked up encounter with this fucked up brain model, he somehow decides to continue this search. In the seventh video, he built another car and explores whatever this place is. The ceiling has missing textures. He forgot to download CS source. Anyway, he complains about rubber wheels in this bit of text. And for the remainder of the video, he loses control of the car and is just repeatedly slamming into the wall. Now, I did analyze this frame by frame, but all I could see was this, whatever this thing is. So let's move on to the most important video of all, the eighth video. First, he lands into whatever map this is. I mean, look at it, it's full of developer textures. At least there's no missing textures. Otherwise, we would have to look into a horrible purple mess the entire time. Anywho, he catches a glimpse of this, and what I'm guessing is that this is a Breen model, and he breaks some glass windows to escape or run out, and on the way out, he sees that, there are actually two entities. One of them is the weird electricity Breen model, while the other is normal-sized brick Father Gregory. Okay, that's the last time I'm doing that, I swear. Anyway, he runs away and builds fortifications in this area, and he also gets the spy's gun, which proves that the sixth video is actually from Pro Gmod Tutorials' perspective, so that's pretty good to know. Anyway, he does what no other ARG has done and actually goes back and kills these entities. However, when he goes back into his fortified base, he realized that all of the fortifications that he built were now all gone. So he quickly checks up on the bodies only to realize that they are gone. Now this ARG was getting really interesting, and fun note here, his gravity gun gets darker with each video. Now this can't be told apart very well, but the fact of the matter is if you compare the first video's gravity gun to the last video's gravity gun, you can see that it's just black now. Now, time for the theories. In the third video, I stated the drowning theory where Father Gregory is related to him drowning. And criminals tie bricks to people's feet to, let them sink into the bottom of the lake so their bodies can't be found. And, maybe Gregory here picked a brick to represent his death or something. As for the electricity Breen model, the cave video where when he dies he's like hanging from the ceiling? Maybe electricity Breen is like a ghost of someone who hanged themselves. but that's just a theory. A gay theory. Wait, no. Bloopers for Gmod tutorials. I thought this video was way too obvious, so I didn't re-upload it onto my second channel. So, you know, I just didn't upload it, the whole thing. In the making of the second video, I just realized that Hearts from No Copyright Music is like 10 years old now, which is really crazy, and it makes me feel so old. But because, you know, that music is from 2013, I was able to use it in the second video, the building a car thing. So, you know, that's pretty cool. It does make me feel really old though. Anyway, bye!